Hello and welcome back to Divinity Original Sin 2 with me, Bard Ep. Right, so we're back here in town. As I said before, we're going to do a bit of chatting around the place and see what's going on here. So there may or may not be a fight in this video, so please bear that in mind. Okay. Now, first thing I want to do is check, because after the end of the last fight, the guys seemed to have something that they wanted to talk about. So let's see if they still do.
Well now, how's my favorite god woken?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget.
No, nothing right now.
Ivan smiles and salutes at you.
So wherever it was, I guess it's been removed as an option. Okay. Now, how close are the guys to? A long way away from leveling. Okay.
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Let's have a chat with you.
Latest news, fresh from the War Owl. Hear all about it.
Okay, what's the latest?
Many a latest, my friend. The war, the bishop, the queen. What tickles your fancy?
Tell me about the queen.
Jolly Justinia, queen of the dwarves. Ha! Scourge, more like. Here's 20 or so noble gentlemen. No one knows what they did wrong, if anything, and she has them stripped and whipped all the way to the execution grounds. Didn't even give them the dignity of a sword. No, ma'am. Had them all hung. Real slowly.
Okay, I think...
You ask me, and I say she's mad as a mink with its tail on fire. Queen or no.
That's nice. Okay, I think we talked to you before anyway.
Another boat went down. Things ain't looking good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's turn it around this way.
This will get rid of the void woken anytime soon.
So let's have a chat with this chap here. See what he has to say.
Oh, we dwarves had a kingdom, and we will have it back. I won't always be sweeping, I'll be riding horseback. We dwarves had a kingdom, and a proud knight was I won't always be sweeping, for my kingdom I'll die.
That was nice. Not sure how helpful it was though. Still nice. Okay, now let's check over here. Yeah, I want to see what's in here. There's a chap in here, another dwarf. Gundalo.
I've enough strife trying to earn a bit of coin without having the likes of you eyeballing me as well.
Okay, so I guess the dwarves really don't like people. Cautionary pamphlet. Let's have a look at this. Okay, fish storage key we have. Let's see what this is. Sailors, scavengers, and fellow magisters, do not follow the light. There is no lighthouse in all of Driftwood, and no friendly fire by which to sail. Midnight flames are a ruse organized by dwarven filth to lure you into their piratical trap. Trust me, I know from whence I talk. Magister Yvette. Okay, that's interesting. So the dwarves aren't just being passive, you know, and basically jumping people the way they jumped us, but they're actually trying to lure people in to attack them as well. Okay.
Much business today.
So who else is there to talk to?
People don't want to leave town.
It's strange to hear an Irish accent in a game. It's not very often that happens. Okay, let's go look up here. See what the story is.
Who would do this?
A most vile
I thought she had some kind of weird hat on it. So here, let's talk to her.
Pretty good, ain't he? Bet he'd even write a poem for you if you sidled up all night.
Oh, thank you. Let's chat with Safa.
An elf sways on her chair, her eyes focused on the counter in front of her, where she has 6 glasses in a row. With the nails of 2 fingers, she's pressing red welts into her forearm.
There's more than 6 glasses in front of her, and there are more mugs than glasses.
She slides one of the drinks towards you, her head bobbling heavily on her neck as she nods at the sparkling ale.
And that's
Okay, let's see what we'll do. Yeah, let's just knock it back once. Oh, hang on. No, this is more interesting. Haven't I met you before?
Her eyes go wide with panic.
the fog came over 'em all of 'em, and they never came out.
Okay, not a nice fog then, I guess.
Everyone I know is dead. Excuse me.
Okay, so she's not all that chatty. How about you?
He fixes you with a stare, looks you up and down, weighs you up, the cut of your cloth, the weight of your bag. A moment passes. Then a smile creases his face, a smile carefully constructed to look friendly and authentic, a smile that doesn't reach his eyes.
So he's not being genuine.
Greetings, stranger. Looking to ease the pain of a decaying world? You're in the right place. Beers are ordered at the bar, but can I interest you in a nourishing bowl of stew?
I think we'll take our leave for now. Thanks for that, though. Thanks for the offer. Okay.
Yeah, intolerant of my need to not have those void woken slobbering all over me.
How about you sitting in the back on your own? Connie Gregor.
She nods an uninterested greeting.
Here for the fight?
Fight? What fight?
This is a tavern. People are drinking. Eventually there'll be a fight. You planning on starting one?
Maybe.
Well, I look forward to beating the shite out of you then. Bye now. Till later.
She's nice. How about you then? You.
Ah,
Garvin.
finally. Your colleague over there is absolutely useless.
What colleague?
I'll have a bowl of the house stew, if you please.
Yeah, we'll do this one. Of course, yeah, we'll be back in a minute, don't worry.
Heartless.
The path thus ended, the conclusion of a noble bloodline. Who shall rise? Who gains the title most divine?
Okay, let's chat with him now.
We wait. You have interrupted my newest masterpiece.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a masterpiece, alright.
The bard clears his throat and gargles on his own saliva. He then returns to his poem, but his voice cracks mid-verse.
Well, never you mind. Every sonnet I compose is a masterpiece, and my muse has been begging me to write something.
Well, there you go then.
Wait! You might be just the stimulus I needed. I shall craft a rhyme for you and your race. All I ask in return is a handful of coins. It's an offer of a lifetime.
Yeah, let's give him the 20. We could do this one, but I think we'll just give him the 20 gold.
Magnificent. But if I am to write a first-rate work, you must face some difficult questions. Are you prepared to answer?
Ready as I'll ever be.
He stares at you for a few torturing moments.
My first question. Are you hungry? Actually, that's not quite what I mean. But you eat flesh. When you look at me, what do you see? A dwarf? A bard? A meal?
It's a troublesome and gruesome tradition, I have to say.
He smiles a crooked smile and runs a hand through his greasy hair.
An elf craves those memories like an addict craves Drudanay. A pity that you turn to the dead for emotional sustenance. Would you not rather form bonds with the living?
Elves aren't addicted to memories. We simply record them so that we might learn from the mistakes of the past.
I suspect you collect memories not for knowledge, but from fear. Your homeland fell to the ravages of war and death fog. You worry of more loss, more loneliness. Tell me, elf, are you afraid?
My kind act out of selflessness, not fear. We will rebuild. Academies the world over deserve elven scholarship.
The bard hems and haws, then bellows his next words to anyone who might hear.
To all lovers of verse, I bring glorious news. I have completed another modern classic. Listen now, and bask in its resounding refrain. A hunger gnaws at elves, a driving lust. They hunt and wander, seeking rotting flesh. First a taste, a morsel, then the meal. Yet, never sated, start their search afresh. A wealth of knowledge, not of shiny trinkets. They know the past, so future may be bright. But threatened by the void, they rise together, chasing off the darkness with the light.
I think that wasn't a bad poem, actually. Well done. Although he was pretty adamant about why elves eat things. So what we're going to do is
Get you something,
gnaws
friend.
at elves, a driving lust.
let's eat something in
They
front
hunt
of
and
him.
wander, seeking rotting flesh.
There we go.
First a taste, a
So
morsel.
here you go, buddy. We'll display to what you were saying.
The woods have grown chilly now that the sun has set. Annie shuffles across the picnic blanket and huddles against you for warmth. You wrap one arm around her and with the other conjure a little ball of flame in your palm. Little more than a party trick, but her eyes fill with wonder nonetheless. It's so pretty, she says, resting her head against your shoulder. I don't care what they say, what you have is a gift. She inclines her face up towards yours, lips parted slightly. You lean into her, closing your eyes.
Okay, interesting. Do we have any more to eat?
Say sorcerers lure in those void woken. Gather 'em up, I say.
And if the
A
magic
hunger gnaws at elves, a driving lust.
It's autosort.
They hunt and wander,
Teeth we can't
seeking
eat.
rotting flesh.
Tails, skulls. I don't think
First
she
a
eat the
taste,
skulls.
a morsel, then the meal.
Ah, here's one here.
Yet
Vitated
never
armor.
sated,
Okay.
start their search afresh.
Work, work, work. That's all there was in Driftwood for a dwarf like you. Until you got involved in the anti-magister resistance. Then, the work was still there, but also purpose. Purpose worth dying.
Interesting.
Rise together,
So
chasing off the darkness with the light.
the dwarves started by rebelling against the magisters, but then they decided to basically rebel against anyone who wasn't on their side. As far as I
A
can tell, at
hunger
least.
gnaws at elves, a driving lust. They hunt and wander, seeking rotting flesh.
Okay, let's
First a
read
taste,
some of this
a
stuff.
morsel, then the meal.
Why do 7 gods exist?
Yet
Not now.
never sated, start their search afresh.
Wait, why do 7 gods exist? Not now, nor ever have. Okay, so why they don't
They know
exist?
the past,
Gods,
so
ha!
future
Fairy tales, phantoms, what more? Who could mistake the mysteries of nature for the hand of a ghost? The bounty and beauty of nature, it seems foolish to assign this wonder to some unknown and unknowing entity. Some may request, I cast my mind's gaze not upon the lilies of the field, but upon the soul of man and the higher beasts. But this I submit, that I have inspected the inner workings of men and beasts, living and dead, and I have found no soul, only squirming red and bleeding purple. There was no God in those private chambers. Okay,
never sated,
okay, so
start their
let's move
search
out
afresh.
here so he's not interrupting us. Oh, look at that, Armor Frostwell, nice. Okay, and then let's go for books. Right, we've read that. Yeah, that's the one we read. Cautionary Pamphlet, we read. Letter to Dallas, I think we read this. Orders from, yeah, pretty sure we read that. Letter from Magister Loke's mother. Did we read this? Yeah, we read that. Okay. Sodden Diary. Let's read this. Today is a momentous one. So momentous, in fact, that I have decided to start keeping a diary to record my time on the Lady Vengeance, so that one day, should I have a family, my children and their children may know of my small involvement in these momentous times. So, to begin, today the Divine Lady Dallas, Hammer of the Order, arrived on board. She swept by in all her momentous gloriousness, and I fancy that she glanced at me. A tiny smile twitched at the corner of her mouth. The Hammer smiled at me, possibly. Then she went to her stateroom, and there she spoke to the doors. I did not hear the whole of the conversation, but I believe she spoke of the principles of fortitude, which is, of course, an important part of both the ethos of the Order and of the maritime construction. The door seemed suitably inspired and opened for her. She glided, inside, and we have not seen her since. A momentous day. Orders. We have orders. The ship is to see action. An evil band of rebels has landed on the island, and we are to destroy their ship, and perhaps them too. Tomorrow I shall recount the story of our glorious victory. Fortitude is key. Fortitude shall open the doors. Yeah, and there's no day after, so we know what happened to you. Okay, then we have all of these books here. Okay, Swan's Cure-All. Relieves instantaneously and cures headaches, coughs, colds, sneezing, hiccups, gout, sexual sickness, and even the palsy. For treatment, visit Gregorius Swan, The Fields by Driftwood. Okay, interesting. What's this one? A rather poetic description of the common salamander, and it's impressive, at least to the uninitiated, void-woken cousin. Okay. Not many things rhyme with essence. I've known since my adolescence. But shot by the bow, an element arrow is not like any other weapon. Okay? And then what about this one? Grinding Bones. Yeah, we've read that before. Let's see. Security log. Most important area of focus this month is cellar security. Barrels have arrived. Placement of Divine 2000 turret barrels complete. Don't stare into the barrel. Okay. I think that's to do with the fight that we had down below. And the weapons we found as well. Okay, what we've got here. This verbal tome of knowledge teaches you a plethora of handy adventure. Okay. We've read this already. No one can understand the frustration and shame of being the feeble son of a formidable divine. I reach for the source within, yet that spring runs dry. Red Man shows such patience, soothing me when rage threatens to overwhelm. His command of the source is astounding. He says my talents will soon burst forth, like a bound ogre breaking its chains. How fortunate that Dallas does such a fine job of maintaining the divine order on my behalf while I study. Under Redman's tutelage, perhaps I will be God-woken in more than name. Okay. Tattered blueprint. Upon this page is drawn a blueprint of a tomb or vault of some sort. Underneath the drawing, words are scribbled seemingly at random. The words illusions and brackets Rex are circled multiple times, and an arrow points to a particular room. The words soul jars are written. Okay, I think we've been there already. This one, we've done that one before, I think. Oh, okay. Apparently we didn't, so we learned shocking arrow from that. Creepy dead magic requires one shadow and ghoulish ingredients, skulls and bone marrow. With parchment and paper, yet then can compose malevolent magic and sinister scrolls. Okay. And then how about this one? Fly agaric white and red. Should you eat it, you'll drop dead. Mix it, brew it, in potions distill. Then coat your weapon. Kill, kill, kill. Okay. Nice small bottle of poison. Okay. A word of advice to the unarmed. Find a stick or a branch. Tie a sharp piece of rock to one end. Or do the same with a sharp piece of metal. Now you've got a simple axe. You're no longer unarmed. Okay. Crafting weapons to shiv. I think we've read that before. Wands and staves. A sorcerer muses on how the combination of magical elements and a shiv, a club, a stick, or a bow may provide him with a makeshift wand. Okay. Scribbled notes. Fiercely scribbled notes cover the parchment from front and back. The pace seems to slow as the scrawl reaches the end of the page. Only the last lines are legible. Seems amenable, or amenable, whichever one, though it is undoubtedly a shock. His own father, after all. Still, I can draw no other conclusion. They're to blame, and Lucian was no less guilty. Okay. Writ of passage. As authorized by His Honour, the White Magister Raymond, with the blessing of Dallas at the bishop's right hand, in reverence of Alexander, son of the Divine, this writ permits his possessor access to areas information necessary to the fulfillment of the Divine's orders command. No further permissions shall be requested nor provided. Okay, so we need to keep that. Or that, sorry. Letter to Casper. Casper, you never read this. I don't know why I write it. Composing a letter to the dead seems as fruitless as wearing wolf skins in the heat of summer. I hate you. I hate what you did to our family, to our parents. They saw you as special. I knew you for the horror you really were. I hate that because of you, all I had was taken from me. I hate that because of you, I spend each moment fearing that I will lose the new family I have made for myself. The Divine Son will see to it that no one can suffer the same fate. Would that he could have saved our family, but at least he saved me, and for that I owe him my allegiance. Amos. Okay, so obviously their sibling was a sorcerer or something. Must never forget that all citizens of the realm have an equal stake in its success, and ought never to be subjugated to the will of the few, and especially not to that of a tyrant. There is not a monarch alive who has not, by sheer force of nature, been removed from the cares and concerns of his or her citizens. Thus, there is not a monarch alive who deserves his or her position. If what they say is true, you may wonder how it is at all possible to govern, if the act of governing itself corrupts. My answer is very simple. Let the people rule. Yeah, not that simple, sorry. Okay, how about this one? Book. The page is split into 3 columns. In the leftmost column is a series of words in an unfamiliar language. In the middle column is a series of common words. In the right column are numbers. Okay, interesting. Maybe used for translating things. This book is written in what appears to be an ancient... Oh, we did that before. That was to talk to the mast, wasn't it? Or the ship, basically. Talk to the ship, yeah.
Might as well have rotted in the death fog. What's even the point?
You're no better than a lizard.
So someone here... Let's go talk to you.
I'm not a dirty lizard.
Take that, sorcerer. Dallas, get her.
You're dead, Alexander.
Alexander, you're dead. You have to stay dead until we say you're not dead anymore.
Here, missus. Alexander doesn't have to stay dead, does it? Hey, are you an elf?
Of course I'm an elf.
Whoa.
Cool. I think you look weird.
Let's see. Rules are made to be broken. If Alexander wants to come back to life, then they can.
See? Told ya. Take that, sorcerer. Come on, Dallas, help me put a collar on her.
Turtle Johnny puts an invisible sauce collar on Mary Lane.
Take that, sorcerer. No more saucy sorcery for you. Alexander and Dallas save the world again.
I hate this game.
Well, if Alexander can come back from the dead, a sorcerer can learn to break a source collar.
The 3 kids stare at you in awe.
Crap! The source collar's broken. I'm free. How about you, Dallas? I'll kill you again, Alexander. I'm a big bad sorcerer.
For a moment, you watch the children play. Then you leave them to it.
Yeah, let's lead them to it. But there's someone... I can hear someone talking Yeah. Where are they? They seem to be...
No rest until the killer is found.
Where are they? Are they up here? I think it's you is talking all the time, is it?
An elf in tattered red robes shifts through pages of handwritten notes spread across the table.
So many suspects. So many potential culprits. I need to narrow down the list. Think, you damn elf, think.
A floorboard creaks beneath your foot. The elf leaps around abruptly.
What are you doing, elf? Trying to get a drop on me? Sneak up and slit my throat?
Wouldn't much to kill a fellow elf. We are kin after all.
I'm no elf. Don't you call me that.
You can't escape your flesh and blood. You are what you are.
The elf glares and pulls aside his ragged red clothing. Beneath it, his chest is laced with a series of scars. Old war wounds by the looks of them.
You see that, elf? That's Magister flesh. Loyal flesh that's made sacrifices for a true cause. You have more in common with insects and vermin than you do with me.
Interesting. You can call yourself whatever you like. So what has you so on edge?
Seven preserve me. Are you entirely ignorant, elf? My own Magister comrades are vanishing from right here in Driftwood. Whoever's behind it must be stopped. If you hear anything, come to me.
What do you know about these disappearances?
3 Magisters vanished so far, all within Driftwood. My comrades believe some tinkerer named Higba is behind it all, but they're wrong. I'm certain of it.
So then, who is responsible if not Higba?
That's what I'm intent on finding out. This tavern is full of scum and degenerates. The true culprit could easily conceal themselves amongst them.
Like you.
I have to keep investigating. Keep the pressure up. The culprit will make a mistake eventually. If you see anything suspicious, let me know.
I'll keep an eye out.
You do that. Now away with you.
Okay, nice. We got some experience just for chatting with him. That's good. We've already checked there. Oh, let's check the basket.
I'm approaching this the wrong way. I must be.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna go sell... Yeah, I'll go sell the books and stuff. But I'll do that off camera because we're at a nice stopping point there. So, again, apologies no fights that time. But, as I said, I want to get some of the story done as well. So, we got some interesting stuff from him. And we also got a nice little poem. So, if you enjoyed this video, and if you're enjoying the series as a whole, please consider hitting that like button, sharing with your friends or on your favorite social media, and I really hope to see all of you next time. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe you'll hit the subscribe button there on the right, and check out some other videos here on the left.